Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Cryptic Gaming. I hope you guys been having a wonderful week. So we're fresh in after the reset. Want to check and see what we have at the stores and also talk a little bit about some of the things coming into the game, guys. So Battle Phase 2 is starting. Faction Wars. We'll look into that here in the video as well. So, let's see. Yanita does... I don't see any new prints. So it looks like I'm caught up on this stuff, but for those of you who are still fairly new to the game, make sure you come over and get these blueprints. The Warhammer, that is a great auxiliary weapon. It's all I used for the longest time. I've kind of recently went back to some of the mortars and tried some of these other weapons and stuff since the Ascensions are here, but the Warhammer is still hands down probably one of the most effective auxiliary weapons. Buccaneer's Oath also. I recommend picking these up. If you find yourself in possession of a lot of pieces of 8, and you should, they pay out pretty good. So you should be able to come in here and get a lot of these prints. Always pick up prints over the actual items, as my opinion, because one, you don't have to worry about your prints taking up your warehouse space, and you're probably going to be carrying the stuff that you need to make those weapons later anyway, so free up some space. I don't keep anything that's a 1, 2, or 3. We're headed over to Blackwood now. We're going to check, see what he has, but I don't imagine it's going to be anything new for me. We will have a mid-season update here, probably about another month or so, but you know, definitely look and see what they're going to add to the faction war system. Okay, now if you haven't been picking this stuff up, make sure you get like Gimbal Ring Store, Stink Pot Station, the Sumu Sunder, the Tantandra, and of course that Blightbringer. I highly recommend these torpedoes, by the way. I'm going to make sure I continue to buy these things. Let me see here, cycle my inventory, go ahead and pick these up. I think you can get 2 here and then 2 Red Isles, or Talak and then Red Isle. So, I don't really bother with some of these cosmetics. I don't know. I might get something like that later. I don't know. I hadn't decided, but looks like I may have actually picked that one up. But I've got a couple of these already, or 4 of these already, so I don't think I'm going to pick up too many more. I might pick them up. I hadn't really decided yet. But let's see. We have tuning station. If you're wanting the torpedoes, I do recommend picking one of these up. Again, that's if you don't have the blueprint. I think there's a blueprint for this. If not, but you can get a lot of these prints, guys, over in the Pinnacle store. I'll show you how to access that here in just a minute. Secret cache. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've already got that. So, okay, yeah, looks like we're good. We've got everything there. Let's check down here to general flares. I got to tell you, I'm actually enjoying the rebellious signals. I know a lot of people are kind of mixed on this stuff, you know, don't really like it, but I've enjoyed it. It's been pretty nice. You get plenty of them when you farm the area too. You don't have to buy the stuff, but I'm cool with that, and I could just continue to spawn that boss repetitively, and I don't have to wait for resets, or you know, you have 10 minutes for the next one to come through on a cycle. Now, I did want to mention this weekend they're going to be having a 1.5 time smuggler pass event. So what that is you're going to earn 1.5 times the smuggler points in that smuggler pass. So if you haven't got your pass finished, that's going to be this weekend. Make sure that you jump into smuggler's pass and finish that stuff out, guys. Now with our faction war system here, we went into phase 2, so make sure that you come in and grind out to get to number 20. And this stuff is going to start to repeat, but this will be the first procession of grabbing that the Q Rare Crushing Bench, I guess is what it is here. So it helps that poison status effect. Definitely looking forward to opening that up here in the next few days. It's not going to take but 3 points, so we'll be able to open that up pretty quick. Now, we also have over here the materials chests and stuff. This is through the faction war system. As we're progressing, it's going to progress so many, you know, as you come across, based off of what you've earned captured territories. We swapped 1 for 1, so we ended up with 1 gift. We got 1 slot per territory, so we ended up getting this ship cosmetic. So everybody got it this round. I don't know how accurate it is without having a actual point system. I don't know how accurate the tallying is on this thing. I'm just being honest with you guys. But if you're looking to get through that smuggler pass, make sure you hop on there this morning. We've also got some patch notes for you guys. Let's see, we've got, or I mean this weekend for that Smuggler's Pass, guys. And so this will be the war ends, whichever side wins. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. And we're still waiting for some more stuff. It talks a little bit about contested, capturing, and then winning the war. Not a whole lot of information there. And hopefully we're going to see some new events would be nice. I know for me, when I come in and I'm looking at, our faction wars, we're getting there, but it just feels kind of a little lost to me. So it looks like these are the new territories here. Like, it's just a little hollow. It doesn't have enough content yet. It needs more convoys and things like that. That's a lot of fun. The convoys are a lot of fun. The running of the parts and stuff, that's fine. It's cool. But to me, the convoys are the most fun, and they should really add some more convoys into this thing. So as we're running this, make sure that you're coming into these areas, and we're going to make sure that we'll be coming over here, obviously, for us, because we're in Campaign Royale. So it looks like we've got 3 locations on this territory to farm out, and they will have 5 locations. So it could potentially, depending on how they do their rounds, man, we could end up seeing some stuff. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, we're leading over here. So again, like I say, and it's within the same margin. It's swapping territory for territory. I'm almost thinking we're in kind of a test phase here, guys. Is what it seems like to me, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, make sure you earn your war assets and be able to get those rewards. It's definitely worth running to get those rewards. It only takes a few hours, and you can knock that out pretty quick. So be playing it this weekend, definitely for that smuggler point reward, because every time you run a plunder, you're going to earn those smuggler points for that plunder, and we're going to get 1.5 times. I'm also going to pop one of my specials over here. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in the Smuggler's Pass. You have these tooling, I think it's called tooling favors. Let's double check and see what these things are called here. Okay, it's just called a seasonal spoils is what it is. And what this does is it will increase the amount of event currency. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here it is, Smuggler's Fortune. This grants twice the smuggler points. So I'm going to pop one of these during the weekend. So we're already going to be earning 1.5 times, and we'll add another 2%, twice on there. So they'll be earning 3.5 times roughly. And that's really going to earn me a lot of smuggler points. That way I can come over here and buy some more of these Rotmouth. These things are fantastic. I've got a few sets of them already. But I definitely been waiting for this event to come up. So make sure this weekend you pop those things and get that Rotmouth. Then, of course, I'm going to be working on getting these blueprints that I don't have, like Freeman's Embrace, and we'll go ahead and work toward getting that. It's not really something I need. I've got some of the actual furnitures, but I want to make sure I can pick these things up because, charge stores, I like electric weapons. Bloody Red, not something I'm going to use. I've got a couple. I never use it, but it could be fun for. This could be fun to have for, some Discord purposes or whatever, playing with the groups and stuff, and just kind of make it more challenging for takeover and defense. We could get teams together and all, so that's something we're looking at doing as well. Then, of course, they have a lot of these chests, like your tooling material chests and stuff. So, giving you a heads up on the patches coming in. Let's look at this here. So they fixed an issue where the boost icons like the Azor token and guild marks were displayed on the seasonal calendar during weeks when no such boosts were active. I didn't even notice, but hey, that's cool. There's Vanity silent as the grave figurehead on the ship customization menu incorrectly attempted to open the store, resulting in an error instead of showing its smuggler pass reward details. Again, I didn't even notice that. Let's see here. They're going to be doing some work with the world events. Said that the Hallow event has not been displaying loot icon from treasures. I hadn't noticed that either. Ran through it. Fix issue where the barrier health bar was not appearing. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of these things play through it. I didn't really notice it, but I'll be honest, I didn't pay close enough attention to even notice that there was an issue on that. Just running through and grinding that out. So there's Knowledge and Codex is getting some updates on it, so that'll be good. They're going to be looking at updating the percentages and stuff like that on blast perks and stuff as well with mortar weapons. The lane cartoons are getting some issues fixed with it. It was incorrectly showing an explosive perk instead of combustion in its details. I don't know. We'll see. Sounds to me like they're fixing to nerf a bunch of furniture and change some stuff up, but we'll have to wait and see what they end up doing here. They said they're just fixing the visual effects of it, so I don't know. Localization, repair kits. Nah. Apparently, the auto repair tutorial page displayed debug. Well, okay, so there's an auto repair feature on here, and one of our Discord members, man, I forget your name, may have been chilling. Anyway, so what you do is you're going to bring up your load menu here, and if you look down here at the bottom of the screen, it says auto repair enabled. If I want to disable that, I'm going to take it. I'm going to press X, and that disables it. I'm going to press X again, and it enabled it. So if you see it down there moving, I'm cycling it now. It's right next to the A select button there. So okay, so we've got our auto repair enabled, and it repairs your ship leaving the dock. So that's what it seems. It seems to be working fine. I don't know. I always, if I see it needs to be repaired, I hit it anyway. But I haven't noticed where it shows that it needs to be repaired. I've got some tokens. It looks like that's been up at the main station up there, but I don't know. I've got plenty of everything here. It looks like, so I'm not too worried about that. Looks like we're getting some stable server stabilities, improved client, whatever that is going to happen. Let's see here. There was apparently some issues with the missing emissive label on some of the vanities and things and altars. I don't know. Again, these are things I never noticed that were some issues. Text and chat issues. They've been trying to get the text debugged. I'll just be honest, I don't use in-game text or chat. I keep it turned off. One, I don't want it popping up when I'm playing. It's distracting. Two, we just basically use Discord voice chat whenever we talk. Or I'll use, Xbox Party Chat or PlayStation, depending on what I'm on. So, see here, we got some bugs and fixes on achievements. The Sharpshooter achievement, and then, of course, player cards, Dominator, Pirate, Hunter, Doomsday. We're not progressing accurately. Okay. They're working on some audio issues here for folks that's within certain cutscenes, but nothing for us on PlayStation where you got that real bad popping and crackling into stereo surround. I'm not sure when they're going to fix that. They had mentioned it in the past patch, but it still hasn't been addressed. Of course, contracts where you had the Li Ting Ning Deadly was showing the bounties. And when you were doing the dangerous bounty, they were actually just giving you, or they were giving you a dangerous bounty instead of the deadly one. So they gave you the lesser bounty. They fixed the issue. Doesn't say they're giving us anything. Oh, which reminds me also, for 3 weeks, they're going to be running a boost for your Helm, guys. This is for when we had the issue where we were not getting the materials that we were supposed to be getting whenever we'd go offline. So we're going to give us a 1.5 time boost on the entire Helm for that's, whether it's your parts you're making or your other stuff, you're going to be getting a boost for the next 3 weeks by 1.5. So make sure if you're needing these your parts and stuff here, we got to fund up here. If you're needing parts, whether it's, whatever it is, you're going to be getting a boost on it. So now's the time to get those Ascension modules and stuff like that all set up in your stuff so that you can be getting that boost, guys. So definitely worth it, I think, in the long run there. So let's see here. Death Tides. They fixed an issue where the end of match rewards were incorrect. Fixed an issue where the group could disband if the leader opted for a rematch after completing a match. Wow, they just now got that fixed. That was an ongoing issue from when it was there. So good to know that that's been fixed now. Fixed an issue where black and white celebration screen could appear when mutiny occurred just before a victory. I never noticed it. Fixed an issue where spring-loaded buoys do not deploy after respawn in Death Tides. I don't know. Some of that stuff, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't played Death Tides in a while, so that they may have been having some of those issues. Dens and Outposts. They fixed an issue where ships could collide with floating shipwrecks. Assets around St. Anne and Slock Panjara. Fixed an issue causing temporary player characters stuck spots around Moyet. Boy, I'm glad they finally got that fixed over there at that outpost. That was always a pain. You come up and did you get hung up right there in that little narrow passageway you got to go across. Glad they got that fixed. Okay, so it sounds like they're still polishing in a lot of stuff here. Obviously, to me, like I say, man, faction wars. There's certain things I grind out of it. There's grindability there, but to me, it just feels kind of hollow. Like there's just not enough content there to be able to sway the wars. The battles just aren't active enough to me. They need a full on PvP attack and defend, like 5 versus 5 type scenario or something in there. That would be really cool to have, and have the forts bolstered up for those who are running the defenses and stuff. So I think that there's a lot of potential there. Hopefully they can get this across the finish line. Understand we're just seeing the first part of the layout done, and we still have a mid-season update coming up as to what all that's going to contain. My guess is that's where we're going to see that they're going to have this, they call it the death jettison, which is wherever you sink your ship and it jettisons your gear. That's supposed to be getting turned off at some point. That was supposed to be for season 3. It didn't happen at the beginning, so I'm guessing it's probably going to be that mid-season update, unless they just told us that they were going to do this type of stuff and they went back on their word, which wouldn't be, I would say they went back on the word, but more that they couldn't get it done. So I know that's what the plan was, is get rid of the death jettison, where it keeps all your gear out and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It would just have to wait and see what they end up doing there. So Helm Empire says they fixed an issue where the right scroll UI appeared for Helm overview. Okay, they fixed an issue with cutthroat cargo treasure maps stacked infinitely. I don't know if anybody's stacking maps from cutthroat cargo, but. And then inventory loot fixed an issue where a black placeholder chest icon was displaced when looting a convoy ship instead of the proper loot icon. I didn't even look. I don't even look at it anymore. I just sink stuff and grab it and keep moving on. So it sounds like there's been some issues where it's not been paying the loot that it's supposed to on some of these things. So unfortunately, that is something that that's pretty common in the game. But it's not even just this game. That's just games in general. So it says they've got new events there. We're going to double check one more time. I want to give them a full thing. I think what that means is what it's saying, new events, is referring to the actual event itself. Let's see. Yeah, so this here would be your convoy. So this would be a good convoy to take, and we'll run this here and have a little fun with it. But I would love to see more convoys like that. So we get a Dutch convoy because we're campaigning Royale. They get a campaigning run here, and they'll come and sink that thing. So the last couple weeks it's been running across the top here. Looks like we're going to be catching this one running down here. I would like to see more of these coming up, maybe even multiples. Make them harder, add more ships. When I say make it harder, I don't mean make the ship impossible to sink and then it starts teleporting and requires certain types of weapons. I mean, give us bigger convoys, double it up. Make it 10 ships we got to go against. That'd be cool. You don't have to make ships any harder than what they are, but make more of them. That would be cool. I would love to see something like that. So we got war cargo. Looks like we're seeing PvPs, so they've now made these where they show up as red rather than just white. I guess people were confused about these things not being, PvP. I don't know. But they've actually made those red now, so that's cool to see, I guess. I don't see any white ones, so that means that they are all PvP. So that'd be good to go. If you haven't noticed, there's new icons for your bosses. They will have, kind of a fancy looking castle here. So these are showing your bosses and stuff. You have specialty things as well, like your Slayer Royale. These are your different types of fleets. They show up as crowns now. Joka Kawaba, which is Hunter Hunted, and this in here is your, what was this thing called back in the day? I don't know. Fangs of the Far, I believe it was. Now, I guess they've got different names now, but these are what the bounties used to be called. Now you're just fighting the boss themselves, so they've changed the event names and stuff. But, I guess that just goes to show how long I've been playing this thing. So when I make a video, guys, it's not that there's no reason to be excited. There's a lot of new gamers coming into this game, and you're seeing a lot of the furnitures and weapons and stuff that you guys were waiting for. Like right now, you can get those heliports running that event with the Reaper over here. But something to keep in mind is this isn't the only one down. Bund Reaper, he's not the only way to get those points. You can wait when you see all those little farm spots come in here, destroy those ships. Same principles. Use a heal weapon, sink them, and once you destroy enough of them, it will spawn a Reaper down here. The Requiem of the Lost Reaper pops up down here, and it's way easier. Usually, everyone's up here fighting, and I've been able to run this one solo. That's where I've been running it. Is I just run it right here, just wear this thing out. And I've been having a lot of fun with that, and it got me through the pass really quick. So, I mean, that's up to you guys how you want to do it. Just giving you some advice out there. I did wait for me to get what I needed, just to be honest, because, I mean, I wanted to get what I needed first, and then everybody else could fight for the role, because for every, one person that sees this that's wanting to complete this, you now know that's the easiest route. Now, of course, you could come up here and get a few shots or whatever and stuff. That's totally up to you, but, I don't know. Hopefully we see some more stuff added to that faction system. I would definitely be excited to see that. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Let's check this codex, see if we see anything updated, what they were talking about in this codex here. And then I also want to make sure that I check that seasonal pass, just to make sure that my seasonal boost didn't change. So all deck weapons. I don't think we're going to see anything new up here, but we'll look. There's the rot mouth. But that was already in there. Now, I'm looking to see if we see any new weapons that they're talking about here. I had heard a rumor, let's check and see if it's going to be in here, that there was going to be a bombard version. Yeah, so this is like a bombard version of the Lancarteau. So this could be purchased from Azurite Lodestone. Saint Anne. I don't even know what the heck that means. Purchase them is Azurite Lodestone. I'm gonna have to hunt around and see where this is at. But I think this is an event we're waiting on. This will be that second event of the midpoint, I imagine. So this looks like a pretty cool thing. So definitely want to pick this up, this Frostwell. This just looks amazing, and I am so glad to see that they're bringing frost damage into this game. When this releases and we can start putting frost on stuff, I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. See what we're looking at here. So you've got, or maybe it's just name. Let's see here. Hits have 15% chance of inflicting delayed explosion, deals 2,500 damage to 65-meter blast radius. Chance increased by 15% with each additional target hit. Limited to 5 targets to 75% chance. Well, that's not bad though, man. Explosive, 20% damage, explosive damage. So there's not actual frost damage, but I guess they're calling it a frost well. Man, I was kind of hoping we were fixed to get frost damage. Got me all excited over here. So yeah, that's going to be cool to see that coming into the game. I got to say, I do like the Blightkeeper torpedoes. I don't know that, I don't know that they're greater than anything else. I mean, I get a lot of really nice stuff with these Ramas, and that's basically because the Cataclysmic perk. All right, that thing just really deals a lot of extra damage to it. But I have been enjoying the Blightbringers. I've been using these with a Sandbuck builds, and I got to tell you, I kind of like it. It's pretty sweet. I was using them with my what do you call that? New Sloop of War, and I enjoyed that. Now I like the Sloop of War; it's not bad. But let me tell you something, man. I got smoked over here on a mode the other day, so I didn't realize people were going to start doing this, but it made sense. I was originally, every time I would go and I would jump in one of these when someone would have it, I would just come in and just strike them down and take them out with my build. Just dominate and win and take the stuff back. Now, what I've been running into now is they come in, and if they snag it before you and they're in a brigantine, you better sink them quick. Because once they break free of you and they hit that wind stream just right and pop a water barrel, you ain't catching them if you're in that Sloop of War. It's a nice ship and all, but that brigantine for these types of missions, it's unbeatable. The brigantine to me is going to be coming back in a huge way when it comes to stuff like this, because it's all I will use. when I go to this. And I've got a really nice brigantine build I got off of the Discord leader over there, Sirius's stuff. He's got some really nice brigantine builds. So I kind of took it and I've expanded upon it a little bit. But definitely make sure that you check what he's got. That's still a work in progress over here, but it's coming along pretty nice. The problem is now when I'm fighting brigantine to brigantine, after the first couple of encounters, they don't join it anymore. They won't come in. They won't do it at all. I end up just running it by myself. So I'm coming along pretty good with the build. It's working pretty nice. But understand, one of the things that's making it so nice is it's not focused just on the firepower of the ship. You have to focus on its natural abilities and that speed and that ram, and they've got some really new cool stuff to play around with where you can turn that ship around almost on a dime now. I'm telling you, it's a pretty sweet little ship. So I would definitely look at that. We may share that build with you later. But I don't know, man. It's a pretty effective PvP ship. Now, I've got yet to take it to Death Tides, but I think I might be testing that out here in the next few days. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now, guys. I mean, I'm not a whole lot of stuff to report on. Obviously, we are in phase 2 of the faction wars, and there's stuff to do here. There's still an event running for those of you who are looking. If you've gotten the blueprint, that's one of the things I would recommend. So I'm thinking about maybe coming over here on, I'll probably come over here on like a Friday again. And this Friday, I'll probably come over and start doing like the Roadman Gold. Because it sounded like there's some people who is needing the silver essence or whatever it's called that you get from this. Now, the trick to that is, at least the way it used to work, and I assume it hasn't changed. It's been a few weeks since I've ran it, but the way it was working is I would come over and I would actually bring the ship in, and you don't sink the main ship, you sink all the clones that it calls in. Just keep sinking them. Don't worry about beating the mission. I beat the mission 1,000,000 times. You want to farm, you turn it into a farm, and you farm as much silver essence as you can. Now, it doesn't pay a whole lot, but you can earn 30, 40 per event sometimes. So, and now you're not always going to get it with every drop from every ship, but you do have a chance of dropping it out of the chest, because they drop these chests and sometimes it's in there. Now, you will get at least 2 usually from the main ship. So at some point, figure out how long it takes you to take him out. I use a demi cannon on the front of my frigate, and then I will use my torpedo build, and I just hit it with the torpedoes coming off the side of the frigate, and it does a fantastic job. I've got the blighted bastion torpedoes, or those blighted torpedoes on there, man, and I'm telling you, it takes that stuff out really quick. So blighted bastion was the mission. I don't think that's the name of torpedo, but it's those blighted torpedoes, man. They do a really good job. So you take out its weak point with the front demi cannon, you just pop it right into it. I'm using those lightning cannons, so they got pretty good range. And as soon as you slam it on one side, just hit him with torpedoes on that side. It's now available to be hit. He'll turn to protect. Make sure that you shoot that badge again. It looks like a big skull. Shoot it again, and when that drops, your torpedoes will hit, and just continue to just rain fire it on him and move away. Try to move him, follow him. You'll chase him away from the ships that are spawning. And typically, once I get him down right about in this vicinity here, I can actually run him down away from those ships. I'll pin him right in here, and I'll just wear him out. Just take him out. He'll stop spawning around and just sit there and let you take him down. But you got to get him away from those. Just chase him. You have to chase him. You have to head him off and run him back down. We may make a video on it for you, but that's all you do. I mean, it's not hard. The more you hit him, the more weak spots you keep destroying, he starts to run from you. So try to be on this side of him and push him this direction, because his fleet stays in this vicinity to spawn. You can actually force his boundary out, and you want to force those ships out of his boundary and keep him pinned in, and then they stop spawning in. They'll stay in one spot, and you can just sit right there and just wear him out. And he, as long as it's just you solo, he will not spawn around. Now, if you get some clown out here clowning around, and he's sailing around and around and around, shooting down it from way off and all, yeah, he'll keep parting in and out, in and out, in and out, and give you a hard time. So try to run it solo if you can. Tier 2, Tier 1, it doesn't matter. Same logic on it, man. Tier 1, the ships drop faster and you earn more silver essence. is what I experienced with it. But you don't have to farm it over there. You can farm it over here. You earn other stuff as well. So a lot of really cool things there. But hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm gonna hop off here and keep the game going.